In this video, we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem when we're looking to find a leg. So our formula again is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where you know that either a or b is the leg. And so I've kind of written the formula here. We're going to work it backwards. We're going to take the c squared that we know. We're going to subtract the equation that we know. So if you were to solve this algebraically, we would have subtracted b squared from both sides, or a squared from both sides. And we would be finding the missing side to find a by itself. And so I've written a formula here, although you don't need to worry about that. I'm going to show you how that works. So again, I always find the longest side first. So this is the hypotenuse. And so I have x squared plus 7 squared equals 14 squared. And I'm going to do that on each one of these first two. It would be 3 squared plus x squared equals 10 squared. So it doesn't matter whether I know the longer side of the two or the shorter side of the two. It's the same first step. They are adding the number that we have, and we are going to subtract it. So we are going to take and subtract 7 squared. And so I'm going to do the same thing. Subtract 3 squared. And so we're going to work that problem out. And so if you know your times table is really good, you're going to go ahead and do that. And if you don't, you're going to go ahead and use your calculator. So 14 squared is 196. We're going to subtract 49 because that is 7 squared. And we have the square root of 147. So x squared equals 147. And to find the x, we're going to take the square root of both of those, and that would work out to a decimal of 12.12. So x equals 12.12. Notice that even though I have drawn it as that's the smaller side, you are to just assume that the artwork doesn't always match the distances. People are just making a sketch. It's not exact. So the same thing happens here. You're going to do 10 squared, take away 3 squared, which gives me 91, and the square root of 91 is 95, 9.53. So I have 91 here equals x squared, and we are going to take the square root, and I'm going to write it down on paper here that is 9.5. So I'm going to pause right there so that you can try the bottom three on your own. Okay, so what you're going to see then is we're going to work those problems together, and so I'm going to write the first step on here for you. Did you find all the right sides? Did you notice that each one of these is the hypotenuse? And so I've set up the problem for each one of them. Now let's pause to do the calculations. Okay, so I've done the calculations. I have taken the hypotenuse squared minus the leg that I know is squared to find out what the answer is squared. And so the very last step is to take each one of these square rooted so that I can come up with the decimal approximation. If I wanted the exact answer, I would already be finished. The square root of 297 is the answer, and if I wanted to change that to its decimal equivalent, it would be 17.2. And if I did the same thing for the next one, the square root of 315 is roughly 17.7, and the square root of 40 is going to be 6.3. And so again, that's how we're going to find the leg when we already know one leg and the hypotenuse. So great job.